Stamp mounts are the modern way to protect your stamp collection and the preferred way to provide an attractive presentation of your collection in a stamp album. Stamp mounts are transparent plastic sleeves that are used to hold stamps in place in your album in order to protect your stamps from damage. Postage stamp mounts are made of oriented polystyrene, which is free of softening agents that might be harmful to postage stamp ink, paper, or gum. The material does not shrink or discolor and is 100% waterproof. Mounts are available in center split or top loading styles. Particularly with the center split style mount, the height of the mount is static and the width can be cut to fit the stamp. The first step in mounting a stamp is determining the correct size mount for the particular stamp. We use a mount gauge for this purpose. You simply place the stamp on the bottom line of the gauge, and the first number you can read above the top of the stamp is the correct mount for the stamp. You do not want to make the space too snug and in so doing damage the perforations of your stamp, but modern mounts do not shrink, so unlike in the past, you do not need to accommodate shrinkage. The mount that is correct today will remain correct. Our iHobb.com website is also a good source for finding the correct mount size for a US stamp. In the description of the stamps we list for sale, we often list the correct mount size needed for the stamp. Also, use our Showgard mount size guide for US stamps, listing US stamps by Scott number from 1945 to current, with the correct mount for the stamp, plate block, or C-tenet blocks. We also offer a page showing the mount sizes for the more popular US stamp sizes. The gauge will tell us the measurement of the stamp height, which is the critical factor in choosing a mount, as the height cannot be altered. We then cut the mount strip to the correct width to accommodate our stamp. For a clean, straight edge, we recommend a modern guillotine. Always a good idea for larger stamps, C-tenets, souvenir sheets, and small panes. The straight cut of a guillotine becomes more essential. The use of precut mounts is also recommended. Precut to size for common design stamps, always straight cut and consistent in size. For example, a page of Precis in precut mounts offers a neat and orderly album page. For use with the popular size stamps, such as the traditional US regular issues and the US commemorative issues, precut mounts are a bit more costly, but compared to the cost of your stamps and the protection they offer, the cost of mounts is quite reasonable. And a review of the catalog valuation of stamps show a never hinged stamp to be valued at double to 5 times the value of hinged stamps. Mounts with black background are the most popular, as the dark background sets off the color of the stamps and the usually white edges of the modern mint stamp. However, when you have a clean, better grade album page, the use of clear mounts better blend than the black. Another consideration for the classic collector is mounting used stamps. In the classic era, postally used are not inexpensive and certainly deserve the protection of a mount. I have, however, seen extra fine grade canceled stamps where the black ink cancellation is on the edge of the stamp. Placed against a black background, the stamp seems to be faulty with pulled perfs. The perfs were there, but blended into the dark mount and gave the impression of the valuable stamp being faulty. One more consideration to make is the style of mount. Center split like Showgard and Prinz, or top loading like Howard mounts. I will say that this is mostly a matter of personal preference for smaller stamps. Top loading are easier to use, but for large items such as souvenir sheets, the top loading are less stable and may flip open. Now let's mount a stamp. And here let me offer a very strong warning. Place the mount onto the page before you place the stamp into the mount. I had a collection presented to me once that appeared to be quite valuable, mint never hinged stamps. But on inspection, each stamp had gum damage where moisture had reached the split in the back of the mount and disrupted the gum. A collection of mint never hinged stamps became a collection of mint stamps because the collector put the stamp in the mount before placing the mount on the page. The backing of the mounts are gummed, so a light touch of moisture on the top back of the mount and the mount can be placed on the album page. Give the mount a moment to dry. Take your time as moisture and stamps do not mix. Now lift the bottom flap of the mount and place the stamp into the mount. Use caution in fitting the stamp to the bottom portion of the mount to avoid creasing the stamp. All components, mount and stamp, are flexible, so all will go well if done smoothly. There you have a beautifully presented and protected addition to your collection.